Welcome to Geography Repo, where we explore the incredible stories shaping our world.
Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're looking at one of the most ambitious projects ever imagined, a 170-kilometer-long city right in the middle of the Saudi Arabian desert.
It promised a total revolution in how we live. But is it the future, or something else entirely? Let's break down the incredible dream and the even more incredible reality. First, let's look at the promise. Unveiled back in 2021, the line was meant to be the absolute crown jewel of a mega project called NEOM.
I mean, it sounded like science fiction brought to life. A perfect, sustainable city built from scratch. We're talking a 170-kilometer-long mirrored city, 500 meters tall, for 9 million people. And get this, no cars, no streets, zero emissions. Everything you could possibly want, just a 5-minute walk away. And a high-speed train to get you from end to end in 20 minutes. But, big dreams often run into some really big problems.
And the first problem is a very simple one. Math. Yeah, math.
It raises a really basic question. Why aren't cities built like this?
Well, there's a reason humans have built something like 50,000 cities, and they are all, in some way, round. It's all about distance. In a line that's 170 kilometers long, two random people are, on average, 57 kilometers apart. 57! But if you take that same area and shape it like a circle, that distance plummets to just 2.9 kilometers. A line is just not a very efficient shape for getting around. In fact, one mathematician put it perfectly. Even their super fast train would need so many stops to actually be useful that the average journey would take over an hour. So the fundamental shape was flawed right from the get-go. But that wasn't the only crack in the foundation. Let's talk about the money, because this is where things get really, really wild. Now, what's interesting here is how the numbers changed. This was the original price tag. Now, that's a huge number, but for a wealthy country, maybe, just maybe, it's possible. But then, internal reports, according to the Wall Street Journal, showed the real cost could be as high as $8.8 trillion. To put that into perspective, that's enough to give every single person on Earth over $1,000. So the crucial point is, the money just wasn't there. Foreign investors were skeptical, oil prices were unstable, and the project's own finances were a mess. And beyond the math and the money, there's a much more serious cost, the human cost. To build this city, an area inhabited by the Huaytat tribe for generations had to be completely cleared. And this is where the story gets really dark. We're talking about forced evictions. Dissenters were arrested, with some getting sentences up to 50 years. At least 5 were even sentenced to death. On top of that, there are reports of poor conditions and deaths among migrant construction workers. And those giant mirrored walls, they pose a massive threat to migratory birds. This brilliantly illustrates the dark side of building a utopia. It's often built on someone else's home, with little regard for their rights. So with flawed math, an impossible price tag, and serious human rights issues, what happened to the line? Well, reality hit, and it hit hard. The project has been scaled back by over 98%. Instead of a 170-kilometer city for millions, they're now aiming to build just a 2.4-kilometer section for less than 300,000 people. It's not a line anymore, it's barely even a dot. The project of the century has been quietly downsized, becoming a symbol of what happens when ambition collides with the hard walls of physics, finance, and ethics. The story of the line really leaves us with a powerful question. It shows that the biggest challenge isn't just dreaming up a spectacular future, but building one that's realistic, fair, and humane for everyone. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, be sure to follow Geography Repo for more stories about our amazing and complex world.